Yo, yo, yo. Hey, what's up, boys? Got some nice information. Got some juicy information. I didn't go to the media tour, unfortunately, but that's fine. We got all the tooltips. All the information's out there, man. So I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about Warrior. Just based on what I've seen. I really like the Warrior changes. Now, I think they played it super safe, though. They didn't really change very much. They just made some quality of life stuff. But some of the changes that they did make are really fucking good. I want to talk about first a couple things that I wish they would have changed. So Storm's Eye here, I wish that would be a trait. Keeping up Storm's Eye is not challenging. It's not a buff you have to micromanage. It's so easy to keep up, it might as well be a fucking trait. I mean, they made Blood of the Dragon a trait. This needs to be a trait. If they make this a trait, they can bring back like Butcher's Block or something and maybe make it give you more rage or do something else. Basically have more of a reason to just use this other than this buff. You can't really go by none of the potencies because they're all going to change. I did go to the Shadowbringers media tour and a lot of the potencies were different. Also, the trailer, they have some discrepancies from the trailer and these tooltips. Some abilities are on the GCD in the trailer, while in the tooltip they say they're off. Concerning Storm's Eye, I really wish they would have made this a trait, but they didn't make it a trait. It's fine. We still have it. So we just got to keep it up, which is stupid easy. But they changed it from Storm's Eye. It's now renamed to Surging Tempest. Same shit, just different name. So the AoE, Overpower, and then Mithril Tempest now grant Surging Tempest. This is just the way it should have been, though. So this isn't really a change. This is just quality of life. This isn't like expansion worthy stuff. Like this just should have been changed like mid-expansion, like as a small potency buff or something. So pretty much my only concern with Warrior is I was kind of bummed that Storm's Eye isn't a trait, and in a release, which I'll talk about that when we get there, but it's still crit direct hit, so that's kind of a bummer too. I was kind of hoping to be damaged. That way you could have a lot more min-max on your Infuriate usage with your buff. So then it'd be like you'd have to manage your Infuriate, but you know what? None of that matters because they didn't change it. The basic combo remains the same: Heavy Swing, Maim, Storm's Eye, Heavy Swing, Maim, Storm's Path. You know, in your AoE. Felcleave, still Felcleave. Decimate, still Decimate. But yeah, let's talk about inner release for a second, because this is actually one of the biggest quality of lives. Is now it's 60 seconds instead of 90 seconds, which is really awesome. This says grants 3 stacks of inner release, each stack allowing the use of beast gauge actions without cost and guaranteeing that all attacks are crit direct hit. It also nullifies stun. So it's basically like, you know, it still nullifies all that stuff. But the duration lasts 30 seconds. So there's 2 things here. Now, again, I didn't go to the media tour, so I wasn't able to test it, which I'm sure we'll find the answer to this question I'm about to say, you know, when this video is released. But there's 2 things. One, you might be able to pre-pop this if your inner chaos doesn't consume a stack. However, I think it will consume a stack because of the way it's worded. Assuming that it does not take a stack, you can actually pop this pre-pull. So around 10 seconds in the macro, you can pop this. If it doesn't consume a stack, you know, assuming that you can still use your basic combo, you can pre-pop this, use your Storm's Eye, and then use this. So you'll get extra time. That might matter depending on the fight. It might not. Another really good use I found of this is you can actually use this for its knockback prevention too. You could pop this and then not use your Felcleaves right away. You could hold it until a knockback. So having, you know, 20 plus seconds of knockback prevention seems pretty fucking awesome. But then again, this is assuming a lot of stuff, so we'll see. But anyway, these are just some ideas. So when you use this, you get this ability called Primal Rend, and it's basically just super inner chaos. It specifically says that it does not take a stack of inner release, so you can use this right when you use inner release. You can use this mid inner release, or you can use this after inner release. This basically gives you 3 crit direct hit Felcleaves and then a super inner chaos, so it's awesome. And it happens every minute, so it happens just enough and lasts just enough to where I think it's going to be really fun to use. I think it's going to be a lot better this way. Inner Chaos is still the same. My problem with Inner Chaos here is that this needs to be able to be keybound, so they didn't fix this either. And the reason why this needs to be keybound is because assuming that Inner Chaos takes a stack of inner release, you cannot use this pre-pull because your first ability is going to be Infuriate, because they didn't change. They didn't change Infuriate. It still does the same thing. Increases Beach Gaze by 50, grants Nascent Chaos. Well, Nascent Chaos allows your, you know, your super moves. This needs to be keybound, and the reason why is because when you Infuriate, you need to be able to choose between a Felcleave or an Inner Chaos. I really hate that they thought this was a good idea to force your Felcleave into an Inner Chaos. I would much rather have this be assigned to a hotbar because it would lead to more options. I think that this not being assigned to a hotbar, I think it makes Warrior a little more clunky when there's no reason for Warrior to be clunky like that. There's absolutely no reason. There's no downside to being able to keybind Inner Chaos. I literally think they just have no fucking idea what they're fucking doing, at least with this ability. So this was unfortunate to see. So hopefully this gets changed. Do I think it will get changed? Absolutely not. Onslaught, I'm not a fan of damage on gap closers. Seeing that you get 3 charges of this is kind of fucking annoying. If you look down here, you get allows a 3rd charge of Onslaught. Unfortunately, you know, we're spamming our gap closer. It's whatever. Every tank has it. In my opinion, I think utility abilities such as disengagement or knockback, gap closers, that type of stuff, none of it should have potency. I think it's a utility ability and I don't think it's have potency, but you know, it is what it is. Upheaval's pretty much the same. They just made it easier. I can definitely see why they made it easier for multiple reasons. One, I see a lot of people misusing Upheaval. I firmly believed it was impossible to misuse this, but you know, I've seen a lot of people misuse this and it just blows my mind that you can use this the wrong way. I figured just using it on cooldown and then saving it for every inner release, that's not hard, but apparently it is. But it's good because there are times when you want to use this, but you can't because your inner release is going to come up. This is like less restrictive. So the fact that they took this off inner release, I'm in favor of this. I like this. There's some instances where you want to use this and you would get an extra usage, but you can't because you have to hold it for your inner release. The fact is that this is more user-friendly. It gives you more options. So it's fine. It shares a recast with the AoE upheaval, which is this right here, or Originy, or however the fuck you say that, which I'm glad because I don't really care for the animation of this. I much prefer upheaval. So the fact that this is AoE, you're going to use this less, so it's fine. Really, do they need to put this ability in the game? I don't think so. I don't think they really needed to put this in, but you know, it is what it is. I think this ability is just filler. I feel like that this is like a waste of a DPS opportunity. People are going to like it. You know, yay, you get to punch a bunch of ads, you know, it's whatever. Warrior's DPS rotation, I believe, is pretty much going to be the same or very similar, and I think it's going to be better. I think that not having to save your upheaval for inner release is, I think that's a good change. I think inner release being 60 seconds is good. I like Primal Rin. I think it's cool. We can move on to the defensives, man. So Warrior seen some big improvements on defensives. Thrill of Battle remains the same, but Thrill of Battle is pretty good anyway, so they didn't really need to change that. Vengeance is Vengeance. Vengeance is, you know, remains to be one of the best cooldowns in the game. Holmgang is actually buffed by 2 seconds, so the fact that this is a 4-minute CD and the last 10 seconds is absolutely ridiculous. I like to look at invulns as the entire fight, right? So like, how many invulns can you get in a fight? Well, you can get in more Holmgangs in most fights than you can in any other invuln. I think that's really awesome. I am a big fan of this ability, and the fact that they buffed it by 2 seconds is bonkers. It didn't need it, but you know, whatever, fuck it, let's go. So I love this. I really hope that they don't increase the cooldown. I really like this. Raw Intuition, so they nerfed the damage mitigation portion, but they gave it life leech. So with this, you're gonna be able to get in like 3 GCDs, so a cure potency of 400. So that's like kind of a cure 1. Each weapon skill that you use when you use this ability, it will heal you for 400 potency, which I think is awesome. I'm not a fan of the reduced damage taken by 10%. For just this ability, I would much prefer 20%. Do I think it's still good? I think it's still good. I just think that your usage for this is going to be slightly, it's just going to be a little bit different. I think this is more of like a sustain tool at this point than a tank buster tool. It can be used for a tank buster tool. I mean, 10% still 10%, so still good. But I think that pairing it up with maybe Thrill or Rampart is going to be more ideal. But you know what? This gets upgraded to something fucking busted anyway. So, you know, this is just for like level 70 content, level 80 content, or yeah, level 80 content. But Equilibrium got a buff. Now it has a hot. So awesome, 60 seconds. Shake also got a buff. Now it heals. It heals everybody for a 300 cure potency heal, which is awesome. Still does the same thing. Flash got upgraded. We're going to talk about upgraded Raw Intuition first. Upgraded Raw Intuition turns into Bloodwetting. Bloodwetting for the first 4 seconds, it is a 20% mitigation. Then after 4 seconds, it falls down to 10%, but it also gives you a 400 potency shield. And for the entire duration, it heals you for 400 potency with each GCD. So this ability right here is fucking bonkers. This is crazy good. This is insane. So 20% DR plus a shield, plus it has lifesteal, or well, you know, you heal yourself when you attack, which is fucking crazy, man. I think that this is going to be used for not only a buster, but also sustain. The amount of sustain that Warrior is going to have is going to be crazy good. Some people, when they saw this, they were upset because it's no longer damage done. So the difference between damage done is like when you look at dungeons, when you go into a pack and you have like Nascent Flash up and and you just AoE. Well, you heal for, you know, a majority of that damage. Well, this is not going to be the case anymore. Now it's just going to heal you one time because it's per weapon skill. Now, a lot of people are upset at that. Now, I understand, but who gives a fuck about dungeons? Who gives a flying fuck about dungeons? Like, this got so much better, it's stupid. Basically, how it is now is the skill ceiling between Nascent Flash and Raw Intuition is really high, and there's a lot of decision making. You have to think about, oh, well, am I gonna live through the Buster? Is the healing on Nascent Flash gonna heal me more than the 20% damage reduction? Okay, well, all that's taken out now. Now you use Bloodwetting for Busters and self-sustain, and you use Nascent Flash if you want to help someone. So Nascent Flash gives the person, basically it's just Bloodwetting but on the other person. So it's 20% DR for 4 seconds, and then it drops off to 10% for the last 4. It also gives them a shield, and every GCD will heal them. Restores HP equaling 100% recovered by Nascent Flash. The decision tree to use Nascent Flash over Bloodwetting or Bloodwetting over Nascent Flash, that's all gone now. So they basically took Nascent Flash and Raw Intuition and they just combined them into one ability and made Bloodwetting, and also gave you a shield. Dude, this move is fucking sick. This move is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. You use Bloodwetting for yourself, Nascent Flash for another person. That's it. The fact that they simplified this is going to be better for the community. I think it's going to be better for the game. The traits are, there's some weird stuff like melee mastery right here. All the tank jobs have this. I don't know why this is in here. I'm sure for maybe like level sync. This just seems like such a bullshit trait to me, and I'll probably go over it in the other tank videos too. It's just really lame. Like, why did they even need to make this a trait? This just seems like kind of like system stuff to me. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so you get enhanced equilibrium, enhanced Nascent Flash, enhanced shake, and then you get enhanced onslaught. Overall, man, I'm really, really excited about Warrior. I think it looks really good. It's going to play pretty much the same now, except for it's just going to be better. It's going to be a lot better. DPS-wise, it's going to be more fun, I think. It's going to be better because you're on a 60-second timer now. And defensively, it got really strong. Warrior was already super strong defensively, but it's like, it's fucking, dude, it's over the top now. Bloodwetting is super good. Nascent Flash is super good. All the role skills, to my knowledge, are still the same, so you still have Rampart. Thrill is still really good. Equilibrium got buffed. Shake got buffed. Like, it's literally Warrior, but just better in Endwalker. So, yeah, that about wraps it up. So, yo, I'll see you guys later. Peace.